The metal cliffs of the old Junkyard rose like sharp mountains under the fading red sunset. Rusted machines, broken alien pods, shattered drones, and abandoned scrap covered the land like the bones of forgotten worlds. It was silent. Too silent. A cold wind pushed dust between the piles, carrying the smell of iron and old oil. That's when Luke Carter heard it, a faint metallic clink. Then another. He froze. No one came here at this hour. No one dared. The place was dangerous, full of collapsing metal heaps and strange creatures hiding in the dark. But then he heard something else. A soft, desperate whisper. "Help!" Luke's eyes widened. That wasn't the sound of a creature. That was a woman's voice. He grabbed his flashlight, switched it on, and moved cautiously toward the sound. He climbed over a pile of broken steel frames and stepped on an old hover engine. The metal groaned under his feet. The wind blew again, carrying the smell of rain. "Please, someone." The voice was weak. Fading. Luke followed it until he reached a narrow crack between two giant heaps of scrap. His flashlight beam traveled across old wires, broken metal plates. And then he saw her, a woman, alien and paralyzed. She lay half buried under rusty pieces of machinery, her body unable to move. Her silver-blue skin was covered in scratches. Her legs lay twisted, not from injury, but from being placed there carelessly, cruelly. Her glowing markings dimmed as if her life was slipping away. Her eyes, bright violet, were open, full of pain and fear. Luke felt his chest tighten. He knelt beside her. "Oh God." Hey, don't close your eyes." She blinked slowly. Her lips moved. "You are human." "Yes," Luke said quickly. "And I'm here. I'll get you out." A tear rolled down her cheek. "Please, don't leave me. They left me. My own family." Luke's blood ran cold. She had been abandoned. Here, in the Junkyard, thrown away like trash. The truth in her eyes. Luke began removing the sharp metal around her, piece by piece. Every time he lifted something heavy, the heap groaned dangerously, threatening to collapse. But he didn't stop. "Stay awake," he told her. "Talk to me. What's your name?" Her voice cracked. "Allah." "Allah, good, I'm Luke." She swallowed weakly. "My family. They no longer wanted me. I cannot walk. I cannot serve the tribe. They said I am broken." Luke clenched his jaw. "Being paralyzed does not make you broken." Allah closed her eyes briefly. "In their eyes, I was a burden. So they left me here." Luke's hands stopped for a second. He felt anger burn inside him. He had seen cruelty before. But this was something else. He touched her shoulder gently. "Allah, I'm taking you out of here. I promise." She looked at him with disbelief. "No one saves the useless," she whispered. Luke leaned closer. "I'm not no one." The rescue under collapsing metal. Suddenly, the metal above them shifted. A loud crash echoed through the Junkyard. Luke grabbed her hand. "I'm going to lift this. When I pull you, try to hold on." "I cannot move," she whispered. Luke nodded. "Then I'll carry you." He pushed his shoulder under a large metal panel. Muscles strained. The weight was crushing. But he lifted inch by inch until the path widened. He slid his arms under Ayla's waist and lifted her off the debris. She gasped in pain. "I know," Luke said breathlessly. "Just a little more." The pile behind them trembled again. He carried her quickly through the narrow path. Just as they reached the open space, the entire scrap tower collapsed. A wave of dust exploded outward. Luke shielded Ayla with his body and fell to the ground, holding her tight. Silence followed. Ayla stared at him in shock. "You saved me, twice." Luke grinned weakly. "Well, I'm planning to make it 3 if needed." Ayla blinked tears away. "No human has ever risked this much for me." Warmth in a cold world. Luke carried her all the way to his small workshop at the edge of the Junkyard. The place was messy, full of tools and half-fixed machines. but warm and safe. He laid her gently on the only bed he had. Alla breathed slowly, watching him with soft emotional eyes. "You keep helping me," she whispered. "Why?" Luke brought a blanket over her. "Because you deserve help. Because you don't throw people away." Alla stared at the wall, whispering, "My world does." Luke sat beside her. "Well, this one doesn't. Not when I'm around." Ayla's eyes glowed faintly, the first sign of life. "You say it like I still matter." "You do matter," Luke said firmly. "More than they ever told you." Her voice broke. "No one ever said that to me." He gently brushed dust from her hair. "You deserve to hear it your whole life." Her first safe night as rain tapped softly on the roof, Alla watched Luke fix a heater nearby. She studied him quietly, the way he worked, the way he moved, the way he kept looking back at her to make sure she wasn't afraid. She finally spoke. "Luke, are humans always this kind?" "Not always," Luke admitted. "But some try." She lowered her gaze. "I thought I was going to die in that junkyard, alone." Luke sat down again, meeting her eyes. "You're not alone anymore." Ayla's lips trembled. She whispered, "My family threw me away. But you picked me up." Luke smiled gently. "It's easy to help someone who never deserved any of that." Ella stared at his face, confused, emotional, overwhelmed. "You make me feel like I am worth something." Luke touched her hand lightly. "You are worth everything." Her glowing violet eyes softened with deep warmth. A bond she never expected. Days passed. Luke built a support cradle so Alla could sit comfortably. He cleaned her wounds. He cooked for her. He talked to her. He stayed by her side whenever fear returned in her eyes. Alla slowly opened up. She laughed softly. She smiled. She told him stories of her home. Luke realized she wasn't weak. She was gentle, thoughtful, funny, and incredibly strong on the inside. One evening, while Luke adjusted her chair, Ayla whispered, "Luke, no one ever stayed with me this long." He looked at her. "I'm not going anywhere." Tears filled her eyes again. But this time they were warm. "In my culture," she whispered, "the one who saves our life becomes our chosen family." Luke paused. "And what am I to you?" Ayla's voice was soft, trembling. "Honest, you are the only family I have left." Luke took her hand gently, feeling her trust in his palm. "You have me," he said. "Always." Alla leaned her head against his arm. Her voice was almost a breath. "And I will never forget the man who saved me from the junkyard and showed me I was never trash." Luke held her hand tighter, soft, protective, warm. In that moment, the paralyzed alien woman who had been abandoned finally felt safe, valued, and alive, because one human refused to leave her behind.